A lot of INTPs don't really care for credentials because just because you have credentials doesn't mean your idea or what you're teaching is right. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people can't get past is like if you don't have a PhD in something or if you don't have some kind of degree, then it's like, oh, you don't know anything about that subject and I can't take you seriously. But they're willing to sometimes listen to some guy with a PhD give them like wrong advice. Like, I guess some guy with a PhD is like, try this new fat burning product, even though it's not even good for you and doesn't even really do anything. It's just a bunch of marketing. And it's just really irritating that even though you have the knowledge, even though you have the skill, that there's no way you can just like take a test to like do this certain thing. I mean, sure, there's some kinds of there's some things you can do like with getting licenses for real estate or some other license program. But in order to get a degree, you have to take all these courses, go to this school, pay a lot of money, probably go into debt if you don't have family that's saved up for it, and pay over inflated prices for college just so you can get some certificate that says you are eligible to do this, even though you might already know how to do it. And that's the thing that really irritates me the most, is that there should be something out there where there should be a test and I should be able to be like, okay, this is the test I have to take, and okay, I'll go do it. Or if there's like a set of classes, there should be classes like, okay, I'll do this class, take the test, be done. Do this, do the class, take the test, be done. And then if it was like that, if there's goal, 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 result, I would be all into it. I would destroy it. I would probably have like a degree in a year. I mean, when you can go at your own pace, if you can learn really fast, and that's really good. I mean, if some people can't, that's fine, and they can pay for the college classes, but if they don't need it, they shouldn't have to take it. I mean, there should be an option like that available, but there's not because people want to keep all that money, and it's not really profitable to have something shorter. And probably if someone did come up with that idea and they did make the test, it would probably get turned down as being an accredited source for a degree because people would lobby in and say, no, don't do that, we won't make as much money. So it's kind of, the system's kind of rigged against us. It's like you either have to waste all this time to get a degree. I mean, you do learn things, but if you already have the knowledge, you should be able to use it. Like for instance, like I think I'm pretty much like an expert in nutrition and weight loss, and I could help a ton of people lose weight. Like I know I could, and I've helped other people lose weight. But just the fact that I don't have a degree and I can't turn it into a practice, and I don't have some kind of title, then I'm not allowed to do it, and I just have to be like, oh, I have all this information, but it's going to stay locked up inside of me, and I can't start my own business, and I can't help other people out. It's holding back the economy, it's holding back people's potential, it's just not doing anybody any good. It's like you have to pay so much money to try to get established in life. You have to pay so much money for a piece of paper that says, I did something. It's stupid. Like the first professional, whatever, say if you're the first professional psychologist, that didn't exist before you were the first. There was no program you could take. You just kind of learned a lot and you kind of made the whole profession yourself. And a lot of the early psychologists were actually, I'm pretty sure they were physicians, and they just studied, yeah, people, and they studied that aspect and they became psychologists. So yeah, it's like which came first, the chicken or the egg? And you can't have one without the other. So you can't just say, oh, there's no chicken until you do the egg part first. But there was someone being a chicken before that, and this is stupid. But basically, what I'm saying is there had to be someone who knew it before it became something you could get a degree for and make money off of. So I just don't have time. Like, I don't care about credentials. It doesn't mean you're right. Having credentials doesn't make you smarter. It doesn't make you more right. If you're wrong, you're wrong, and if you're right, you're right. If your idea is flawed, it's flawed. And I've known a lot of bad professionals. I've seen bad doctors. I've seen bad people at every profession, and they're not. They may not be set for it, but they have a degree, so they're qualified. And just so much of what you learn after, like through college and just after, your memory fades really fast. So you really only kind of retain memory that's more related to your work experience. I mean, what you're gonna do for a job. And then it's like, why am I learning these other classes? Oh, is it to become well-rounded? No, it's to make more money. It's all about money. That's all it ever is, and it's all it ever will be. But there's people who want to do stuff now, and they want to get started now, and it's just holding them back. There really needs to be some kind of program to where you can get accredited faster, and just to where it's not restricting so many people. And you have to pay so much just for a little piece of paper. I know 5 people off the top of my head that have college degrees who are doing nothing with them after they've got out, but they still have this huge debt over their head. And plus, with the student loans interest rates being hiked up, it's not going to help them anymore. They're paying like basically like car payments, like $300, $400 loan payments per month, and then you have to add that with like a house and the cost of living. It's ridiculous. And pretty much, I'm going to end the video on why this even has all happened, where it's so expensive to go to college. It's because, first of all, in the after the gold standard was removed from the dollar started going up in price, devaluing drastically. And from there, people were like, oh no, it's more expensive to go to college now, so we should have a federal aid program. But anytime you subsidize anything in the government, whether it be healthcare, whether it be the housing market, look at that, or the dollar, which making more money devalued that, when you throw more money into college, it devalues that because it distorts the market. And whenever there's a distortion, the market's going to respond and it's going to compensate. Since there's so much money in it, it inflates it, and it inflates it, and it inflates it. And that's why costs are so high. And there's like $1 trillion in student loan debt right now. So my advice is try to get something with like a 2-year degree or some technical job, or just doing something you really like. Because I know a guy who like does tattoos and he makes like $5,000 a month, which is pretty cool. And yeah, because your degree doesn't mean anything, and you might get accredited for it, but it doesn't guarantee you a job. So, and it's the college experience, but it's a load of crap. Yeah, you can have the college experience after college too when you're paying all that money. So, I don't know. It just sucks.